Welcome to another podcast style video where really it's just us sitting here talking about all these wonderful things, whatever that is. Today, we're talking about how I'm an athlete and that we are sponsored by Vita Coco. Just kidding. But I am an athlete and I need to be hydrated. So that's why it's there. I've been drinking it and I'm going to continue to drink it. Also, we are going to be talking about how we met. Which is, it's a serious topic because I didn't think I was ever going to be able to get married because when I was so broken, okay, don't come at me. And then also, it's just how I felt, all right? It's just how I felt and also how other people made me feel. Anyways, that I was never going to be married and I shouldn't be married. I'm not the kind of person who should be married. All those things. But obviously, I went after it anyways because I wanted to. And, you know, you shoot for the moon. Yeah. You know, have dreams. Go after them. You can do things. Anyways, I always wanted to be married since I was like 2. It was my biggest dream in the world. And here I am, trophy wifing it up. Very happy about it. So let's hear from the boo of me. Let's hear from Bay, how we met. We're going to let him tell the story, even though we know that it's wrong. Okay? So he'll tell the story. And then I'll just come in with some corrections. Okay? How does that sound to you, sir?
Sounds about right, honestly.
Good. That's what's going to happen then. You can take the mic for now. I will be snatching it back very soon. So first of all, let's start with you and I. We hadn't had very many relationships before we met in our 20s. I think I was 23 when we met and you were 23 when we met, or 22. He's a younger man. Okay. We met when we were in our 20s, and we met because we both were looking for somebody. Okay. We didn't meet and like become friends and fall in love. I was like, where's the men at? I was like, I'm on a mission. Okay. And someone said, what about this guy? And I said, okay, maybe let's meet at Chipotle.
Well, that might be how it was for you on your end. I technically wasn't looking at that moment, but our mutual friend that we had mentioned you because she thought we would go well together because we're both goofy. That holds true actually to today. We are both goofy, and that does... No. I'm going to just stop you there. I don't think that's a judgment we can make. But if you think so, leave the monkey emoji in the comments. It's my favorite emoji. Okay. Well, again, I disagree. It's literally part of our dynamic, is that the fact that we're goofy.
I'm not goofy. You're... Anyways, go on with your shit.
So I was just kind of in a place where I was like, I'm just going to do a solo thing for a while.
But then you came and met me. What in the world was going on in your head then?
Well, because...
You need to be taking me serious.
I felt pressured, obligated. So
How did you feel pressured, obligated? We didn't even talk to you in person. We just texted, hey, you should come meet this girl.
You know our mutual friend. She's very insistent.
She is persuasive.
I didn't want to be rude, and just completely decline meeting you.
Is that how we're married? Because I'm like, you should marry me. And you're like, well, I didn't want to be rude. So I got down on one knee.
Oh, my goodness. So anyways, we make the arrangements to meet. And the arrangements were interesting, to say the least. Because we were supposed to meet, I thought, at Starbucks is what I was told. And so then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're going to be at Chipotle. And this was at the drive. This was on the drive rather to where we were going.
They were across the street from each other. And
were not.
Yes, they were
not. It was it was almost another 5 minutes, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no, maybe it was like here it is.
In fact, it might have been more than that.
No. There's no. Here's the thing.
You don't remember because you were already there. You were there.
I was at
the place where you were telling me to go.
Because I was hungry. Okay, and I told you beforehand because I'm not going to.
This is a foreshadowing, by the way, of how our relationship goes in the future.
No, here's the thing. When I'm hungry, I'm not like, oh, let me eat just a little cake pop from Starbucks. K-pop or cake pop?
K-pop.
They should have K-pop cake pops. Oh my goodness, I need to be in marketing. Okay, Starbucks, hire me. Just kidding, just kidding. But you can take that idea. K-pop, K-pops. I can't be the first one. I can't be the first one to think of that. Anyways, so I'm not here to eat little bitty pastries. All right, I need to eat a burrito or two from Chipotle. Okay, you remember how big those burritos were back in the day? 10 years ago, for $5, they were like $5, and they were. Okay, and then you got chips. You got soda. Anyways, I was hungry, and I'm getting a little hungry now. So instead of just going to Starbucks for a coffee, I was like, let's go to the Chipotle that's right around the corner from the Starbucks. And we said this to you before you got to the Starbucks, which I think is the important part here. So instead of you don't go to the Starbucks, you keep driving and you go a little bit farther and you turn left instead of right into the Chipotle. Okay?
I don't think so. What
do you mean you don't think so?
Because also, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was also not even the right Starbucks or something.
Oh, you didn't go to the right one?
I think either the directions that were given to me were incorrect, or it was just like you guys changed.
You were not good with directions.
No. I think she had just said like the area or something. She didn't give me the actual address.
And there's probably more than one.
Exactly.
It's like a city.
Exactly. And so I'm like, okay, so... And I can't remember. I feel like I did say, like, is it this one? And she's like, no, it's not that one, or something like that. So you might be right about the Starbucks
There is a Starbucks across the street from that Chipotle.
But it's not the one that I was instructed to go to because the instructions were not very clear.
Whatever. Anyways.
So I go and get because now it goes from me meeting them at Starbucks to now I'm picking up their coffee for them at Starbucks.
Right.
And tea, actually, because you drank tea, not coffee.
Yeah, wait, give it to, because you're missing an important part you need to know, is that when we met that day at the Starbucks/Chipotle, it was me and two of my friends, our mutual friend, and then our other friend. So it was us three girls, and we were going to come see you, and you were coming to see me, and then also you could like catch up with your mutual friends some, but we were all there for the one mission, is whether or not we were going to get married.
Keep this fact in mind. 3 of them, 1 of me, solo, no wingman, just me, 3 women.
Do you need a wingman?
Keep that in mind for the rest of this story. So, yes. What do you mean? Do I need a wingman? In that kind of situation, yes.
You do not.
Yes.
You didn't need help picking me up or anything.
Look, we need to stop and move forward because we will get hung up on this. Anyways, so I get the coffee/tea, bring it to Chipotle. And there are 3 of them, as she said. And so, one, I was already nervous just for the fact that I was there doing that. Because, again, I wasn't really in the place where I wanted to meet anyone of that nature.
I don't know why he came then. Also, you can see how that worked out.
So
I'm not wearing my ring, but we're married now.
I guess actually it was literally just that fact that was like really getting to me, because it hit more and more. I was like, why I was there. Like, I'm there to meet somebody. And so I was just really nervous. And this is a sore subject for her on this story in particular, because to her it means otherwise. But for me, I was having a hard time looking at her to talk with her because I was so nervous. As far as how it felt like I was mostly talking to the other 2, our mutual friend and then your guys' friend. And then you did ask me like a question or 2 that I did try to respond to you about. So this is the other side of this is the other sore subject to me, because remember, I said, hold on to this point, that there was 3 of them. It felt like I was being interrogated. And don't tell me that doesn't make sense, all of you out there. 3 women just me. It felt like I was getting question after question asked to me. And she's like, no, that's not what happened at all. No. Yes, it was.
It's like he's never had a conversation before. We're like, literally like, how are you doing? How's your parents? How's your your BFF? Like, what are you had a new job, you're working at an airport. How's that going? Like, we're just asking you questions. He didn't ask one returning question he asked 0 questions about me. And then, like he already so graciously told you, he admitted from his own mouth, you heard him, that he didn't even look up at me. So I had a whole cute little dress on. Do you remember what dress I was wearing? Mr. Didn't look up at me.
Black with pink flowers.
That's true. I still have that dress, actually, and I will keep it forever. Probably not, and I wear it all the time. And we say, like, this is the dress I met you in, but you wouldn't even know because you didn't look up at me. No, you did remember. Anyways, and then, so how am I supposed to know? Why am I there then? What I'm hearing is you wasted my time.
It's not that,
You're
like,
not
initially,
on the mission.
If this was, like, the initial discussion of how this situation went down, then I could understand your viewpoint. But we've had this discussion several times in life. I've explained it, and to you, it's just like,
you don't think I was nervous?
I don't, because you had a posse. I had me.
We were all there for the same reason. We were on your side. That's why we all kept things going. We kept things relaxed. We talked about how cute you were.
That might be how it felt to you, but that's not how it felt to me. Now, I understand after the fact that that's what it was as far as what you're explaining. But me then did not know that. So
wow. Well, let me ask you about you then, because also you did not ask at all for my phone number afterwards. Nothing. So we met. You didn't look at me. You didn't ask me one question. You left. That was that.
Well, for one thing, I did not feel like I had enough to go on, which
because you didn't ask any questions.
I will say that is partially why, because I didn't get to like actually.
That's why we were there.
I know that.
And that's why I was there, apparently.
But even still, I feel like I got asked a bunch of questions and was getting very nervous / stressed about it. It just made it hard to be able to think of that kind of stuff, like asking you questions. And I also, on top of that, was technically on a time constraint. It was literally right before I was about to head to work. But it's because that was probably a better-ish time that worked for you guys. But because I was on a night shift, so no matter what, I had a harder time.
So really, it was a better-ish time that worked for you.
Well, kind of. Otherwise,
we were going off of your night shift, and between you waking up and going to work, from waking up from being asleep during the day to having to wake up, get ready, and go to work, that's when we were talking to you. And at the time, you also were working, like, you weren't just working your shift, you were working over. And so, and then you would get home and need to chill and eat and stuff. You slept and then woke up and went to work. Pretty much. From what I remember.
Yeah.
Because when we got married, you were at the same job.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, between the, the stress of why I was there, and then the stress of like, okay, I can't stay too long because I do have to go to work, unfortunately. And so both of those things combined, it was just like, kind of clouded my mental vision, so to speak.
So why wouldn't you have, I hear you, okay? No, why didn't you ask for my number so then you could talk to me a little bit more?
Get
some more info.
Because I felt like, to me at that time, how I usually viewed those kinds of things and operated on those kinds of things would have needed another situation like that to warrant me asking for your number. And so, and on top of that, because I didn't have what I felt like was enough to go off of whether or not we should go any further than that initial meeting, like to pursue it essentially. So I was just kind of unsure. And again, back to one of the original points is just, I wasn't sure if that was what I wanted to do, period. So.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously things changed for you at some point. So how did we get from that, You not looking at me, ask me questions, not asking for my number. How do we get from that to here? Okay, let me tell you a little bit because I brought us here. Okay. I gathered a whole group of people. It was like 70 to 100 people. And they said, we're going to have a party. Okay. Outside, it was in the summer. We have a nice little park. They have little pavilions and a little volleyball thing and a little lake. Cook some hot dogs and hamburgers, set a fire, grill, whatever. So that's what we did. I got 70 people together. I'm pretty sure it was 70 people, and then got like, chairs, they got the date, got the place, food, organized everything, and everybody knew why they were coming. I said, hey, I need to put together a gathering so that I have an excuse to and be like, hey, we're having a party in case you want to come to this boy that wouldn't ask for my number. And that's what I told them all. So they all knew why they were there. They weren't there to hang out with me. They were there to be an excuse. And if you came and we were all there together, then their job was to be like, so you two talk and we walk away. You two talk and we walk. Okay? That was the plan. I am a great strategist. So anyways, did I get your number or did I find you on like Instagram or something and I DM'd you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I found you on Instagram, DM'd you, and not that I defined you, we were mutual friends. Anyways, and I was like, hey, we're having a party, da-da-da. And then you go, hey, I have a friend. Can I bring your friend, my friend? And I'm like, I guess as long as it's a boy.
Yeah, I love that she thought that I was going to bring a girl with me.
Did I ask you that? Like, I think I did kind of like probe to be like, who?
Yeah, I was like...
And you're like, oh, this is his name. He's from here. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't care. Yeah. Bring him.
Yeah.
I think that did help you. I mean, you did.
Yes.
I feel like I am like...
Yeah, a lot of the issues from that first initial meeting were...
You needed a friend. You needed a support friend.
I needed a wingman. That's like guys 101 as far as dating, is having a wingman.
I don't... Okay.
And then on top of that... It did make it that much easier. I will give you that. Being in that group setting more, it felt a lot more comfortable. Like it was like...
We were there for a longer time.
Yeah. Which, I guess one could argue that being in a group like that with a bunch of people you don't know could be a little bit like stressful, anxiety inducing.
It would make me a lot more stressed.
But at the same time, I don't know. It just didn't feel like that to me. Like it just felt like, like we were there to... enjoy our time together, have fun, and
you love a good fire.
Yeah, I do. I love like little campfire-y kind of things, like sit down at a bonfire or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that helped as well. Good food. I remember the food being real good.
Mm-hmm. And then hamburgers. I love a hamburger and hot dog. So.
Yeah, and it just felt way more chill, like more relaxing. Like we're just there to hang out. Get to know each other, etc. So
that's when I hooked you.
And we were playing like volleyball and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I got to kind of like talk to you. Mm-hmm. It was more like, I guess, natural, organic-ish.
Sure.
Even though it kind of wasn't, just felt easier, And so we got to talk more and hang out more, all that good stuff. And yeah, it took off from there.
Yeah. So that after all of that, you had like an hour drive back home. We lived like an hour apart. And to me, long distance. I was watching something and everyone was talking about like, what do you actually consider long distance and what you don't? I think if you can't get to the person within a day, like travel there and back, then that's...
Wow. That's long. Yeah, that's long distance to me.
That's long distance. But, like, when I think about us, I'm like, it wasn't always very convenient. So I do feel like, I think in my little head, it was like, it was long distance enough for me for it to be annoying.
I mean, I guess it's debatable whether that's, like, whether other people would consider it long distance. I would say it's not
real long distance.
But I feel like that's still pretty long distance, because I feel like most people have to live within, like, at least 20-30 minutes of each other when they're dating.
It has to be easier than like having to drive like, 2 hours, and then if you're like going somewhere else, then we would like drive an hour and then you drive some more to get somewhere, and then you drive some more to get back, and then get to the car, and then you have to drive an hour home. And, if you hang out till 10 p.m., you're still not getting home until 11 p.m. Yeah, and then I gotta like get on ready and get ready for bed, and it's like I think in the morning.
Yeah, I think our situation was different because we're one of those relationships that we were introduced by a mutual friend, and we do, like you said, we did live in different areas that were like an hour or more, because actually even where I was before, because I had moved into a different area for that job that you were talking about, and even that area that I was in was, I think, over an hour or something, you know, so either it would have almost been 2 hours actually if I still lived back that way.
Yeah,
so
which we did go back there because your family is still there.
Yeah.
Was still there.
So that would, you know, now we're getting even further distance if I had been living there.
Anyways, the point of the story was that he had some drive back home, and so I'm Instagram DMing because he still has not asked for my number at this point, okay, everyone? Anyways, so I'm doing all the heavy lifting here. So we're talking, and just asking it's stupid questions. How did we get married? I don't know. Like, do you like chicken? Do you like Chipotle? Do you like cats? And then we'd send a cat emoji and be like, oh, that's so cute, cat. It's a cat emoji. That's our text messages back and forth. Anyways, they're kind of still like that. You know, that's our, just in real life, our conversations. Look at this cat.
That's how you know that it's real, when you can literally talk about nothing, and yet you still like, I'd marry that person.
I don't know. It's just what we want to talk about, apparently. The most is the silliest things. We are goofy. Yes. No. Anyways.
Wait, what was the one where we were talking about the
chicken?
Yes.
I was saying, you were like, hey, how are you? What are you doing? And I'm like, I just ate some chicken. And you're like, bok, bok, bok. And then I sent an emoji. Yeah. And then you're like, LOL, this is us. This is. And I was like, yeah, he's the one. Anyways. No, so we're going back and forth on Instagram DMs. And eventually, I think that night, I was like, no more of this. I was like, so, do you want my number? Or you were going to ask for something? And I was like, oh, I don't know how to send it over DMs. It was something like that. And I think you were like, oh, let me just give you my number. Thank you. Finally. So then we could text. And that's what we mostly did. We were both texters. You, much more than me, into the texting life. And then, I don't know, we had, like I said before, even though we were in our 20s, we hadn't had like a lot of relationships before. You were my first official boyfriend. So we, you know, we're talking, texting. I'm like, hey, also, can you call me sometimes? Because in case you're new here, I got the gift of gab. And he's over here like, oh, I just don't have anything to say. I didn't ask you to call me to talk. I asked you to call me to listen. That's what you're going to be signing up for if we get married. Anyways, so we meet once. He doesn't ask for my number. We meet twice, all very orchestrated. And I think I did a decent job. You know, we had the fire. We had extra people. You had a friend. We DM'd. Everyone was on the same page. We're all on the same mission to get us together. Anyways, so then we're now talking stage. Yeah. All right. So what happens next?
And then at the end of that party that you had orchestrated, I was the one that made the next little powwow for us. And we were talking about movies and stuff that we had seen. And so there was this one that I had brought up that it sounded like you hadn't seen before or something. And I liked it. And so I was like, oh, well, why don't you maybe come over one day, you know, and we can watch it where I was at the time, where I was living. And so we set that up, and we had the way that I set it up, because at that particular one, you actually had your parents at your orchestrated party.
Right, at my party, because I made the party. I needed helping hands. I needed their van to haul over things of food and camp chairs and all this stuff. Yeah, so my family did meet you.
Yeah. So I don't know if this was like a thing that I just, you know, was like, may as well, you know. But I had my parents come and hers actually to this next thing at my place for the movie, and then the mutual friend, and then she brought a friend, I think.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And then I might have had somebody else. Who else? I'm pretty sure I had somebody else come.
You might have had your BF come, but I thought it was just your parents, which is a small little basement, like, you know, apartment thing where he was staying. So it's all of us there, his parents, my friend, or our friend, I guess, and maybe some extra friends that I don't remember. I just remember those people. And
she remembered the important one.
Not that anyone else. No, everyone's important. Everyone's important. I love everyone. Anyways, so we walk in, and he is in a flusterment of just walking around in circles. He looks like he's just frustrated out of his mind. His face is red. I don't even think he said hi or anything. And it was like, oh, you had a headache. You were just you said something about having a headache, or maybe on the way texting you, I figured it out something. And Robbie gets headaches. He's a different person and cannot think, cannot do anything. He needs to be left alone in a completely dark room. Not in a small little apartment all cramped with a whole bunch of people in a stressful situation and a new girlfriend and pizza. And so, because you ordered pizza, I think, to feed us. We walk into him being just like, and his parents are there. And so my dad grabs him. He lived really, really close to Walmart. Amazing. I moved in there when we got married, and I was like, Walmart, hop, skip, and a jump away. I love you. Anyways, so he lived like in Walmart's backyard. So we walk in, and my dad grabs him, and he's like, let's go to Walmart and get you like some headache medicine, some ibuprofen.
Yeah, because I didn't,
Advil.
For whatever reason, I didn't have any medicine. Mm-mm. And like, it wasn't just like a normal headache, which, even normal ones I don't always do the best with, but this almost was like a migraine headache. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it was like brought on because it would get really hot and stuffy basement, in there.
Yeah,
and then I feel like that's because that happened actually too on a different little party thing that I had with some of my friends, like when I first moved in there.
Can we talk about too that schedule? I feel like that schedule didn't help you out. Because you were on that night schedule with the sleeping, and then you give up sleep sometimes to hang out with people, obviously, because
because you literally can't hang out with anyone on a night shift because that's when everybody's available is at night.
Day.
Well, no, at night. In the evening, because they work during the day and then are off in the evening, but I'm like still at work when they're off work, and then I had the weekend on top of that. So it's like literally any time that anybody's off, I'm at work. Yeah. So I had pretty much almost no social life save for a few things here and there.
Yeah. So I feel like that wasn't helping, that schedule and stuff. And I don't feel like that was helping you with life then either. Anyways, so he goes and gets headache medicine, and I walk in and introduce myself to his parents. I'm like, hey.
Yeah,
I'm the not girlfriend, but gonna be wife. I don't. How are you? And so we talked because I know how to have a conversation and talk to people. So but so do they. So we hung out and had a good time. You eventually got your medicine. Felt better, ate. Sometimes you get really bad headaches when you don't eat too. And you might have waited to eat until we got there and stuff.
Maybe.
But anyways, then we watched the movie, had a good old time. We've met the parents.
Literally on the second date.
You met my parents. On third date, I met your parents.
No, I met on the
first. And they all met each other.
Yeah, I met on the first date. Well, I don't know if that was technically a date.
I considered Chipotle the first date.
That was the initial meetup.
Well, in that case, then we're not dating until you said I was your girlfriend, and that wasn't for a little bit longer.
Yeah. So on the second time that we met is when I met your parents. So the third time you met mine and my parents.
And they met
each other. So, yeah.
I assume my brother was there.
And then it just kind of escalated from there.
It's just going to escalate, and now we're married. The end. Have a good one. See you next week.
Yeah. No, because, I think after that, it was like we started like being...
Texting all day, every day.
Yeah. We started being even more like, we are dating. Like, even if we hadn't like actually said it yet, we were basically...
Whoa. Because I wanted the clarification of us saying out loud to each other that we are dating. I can now call you my boyfriend. I am your girlfriend. We are moving up, and that we are, and then eventually if we continue, either we'll break up or we'll get engaged, then get married. Okay. I feel like that is an okay cycle or progression of things, So I'm like, we're talking with that in mind of like, okay, are we not getting married, right? The mission, stay on mission. Anyways. And so I'm like, call me your girlfriend. Tell me that we're dating. Like, I wasn't here to be like in a talking stage The end. It's not okay with me. So I'm like, we're adults. I mean, we're not 21. We're not 19. We don't have teen behind us. We're not young. We are on a mission. So let's say that we're dating. Anyways, so he's over here like, oh, we're, texting like we're dating. And I'm waiting not so patiently to be like, are we dating or not? Like, because dating is what you do when you, and for me, that is how I define dating. And that is how you define dating as well, is talking, trying to figure out whether or not you are going to get engaged and then married or break up. So we're talking. So we're dating. So say it. Say it out loud to me. Anyways, and so let me tell you how he said we were dating. It was really cute. He reached out to me again, not very long after. And I think you reached out right after that other date, and then we went on like a dinner date. And then we, after that, did a movie, and it was me, you, and my mom.
Yeah. Great.
He sat next to my mom and not me. And so my mom just like leaned over to me and was like, what do I do? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Why is he sitting next to you, not next to me? And then I think she was like, well, what if I like get up and then like come back and you can get, like, we're trying to scheme here to be like, how do we naturally? And I think she just asked you or something. Or,
probably. I
don't know. And then after that, we went to dinner or something and he sat next to her again. And then she was like, no. What's happening? And my dad was coming to meet us, and so she's like, I think I would like to sit next to my husband. So
no, I think
that was another time actually.
Yeah, and it was him that said, I think I'd like to sit next to my wife.
Okay, yeah, either way, fair point. Yeah. And so you had to come sit next to me.
Well, I think you had to. I feel like I was trying to be respectful in case, I don't know, even now looking back, I don't really know why I thought that.
Is my mom prettier than me?
No, it had nothing to do with that.
Did you like my mom more than me?
No. I was just, in my head, I was just trying to be respectful in case, they felt kind of weird, us sitting so close, like right next to each other. She was like,
take this girl out of my house, marry her, and I never want to see her
I don't know that. Everybody's different. Everybody has like different feelings about that kind of stuff.
You're right. Thank you.
So I was just trying to be on the safe side in case they were just like, no, I think that's, kind of early for you guys to be sitting too close to each other, next to each other.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyways,
of course we're in the same room. It's not like, I'm in movie theater A and you're in movie theater B.
Anyways, let's
watch the same movie, but different theaters.
It was one of the times that we went to go see a movie, me, him, and my mom. And I think my brother was there too. I had a younger brother. No, he wasn't there.
No, I don't
He wasn't there. He actually didn't hang out with us that much until later, did he? Mm-hmm. Okay. So it was me, him, and my mom. And we met up like halfway between us. We live an hour apart, so we met like half an hour at a movie theater, hung out at the movie theater, and afterwards we're talking, and somehow it's like my mom and you got in this conversation and I was just third wheeling. I was crushed because they were talking about his past relationships or something and where he was now, and he was just like, I'm really just trying to get in a better place. I was in a relationship, I'm out of it, and now I need to I'm not ready, I don't think, to be in another relationship, I just need to fix myself from that, heal from that, learn from that, whatever. That's basically what he was saying. This was like a 2-hour conversation.
I don't know if I said I wasn't ready. I feel like I was trying to say I was like in a weird, unsure place because I felt like it didn't, I was just trying to get to, like you said, a better place because of how that previous one had gone. And so, I was like...
So my mom, being a mature, discerning person, is trying to talk to him, realizing what he's telling you right now is that he's just trying to work out in real time of I'm still dealing with this hard thing, and what if I can't be a good boyfriend now you know? And so I don't even want to call myself, I don't even want to do that. But obviously all of your actions and how we're talking and everything is we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously I'm standing, we were standing outside the movie theater, standing there listening to him be like, I'm not ready, I'm just out of this. And I'm like, okay, bye. Lose my number. I don't know. Why did I get it to you? I don't, I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I'll see you around. I'll see you when you figure that out. But my mom's like, no, like trying to talk. And I'm just like, I'm standing there wide-eyed, just like walking in circles around them. Like, why are we still talking about this? He said he doesn't want to be my boyfriend. We need to leave now. And we drove home. I told you it was, it was like half an hour, but we had to stop at McDonald's, so it was a little bit longer. And I thought my mom was going to leave me on the side of the road because she was so mad at me because I was like, I'm done with him. And she was like, no, you don't understand. He's saying this, but that's not what he means. And I'm like, I don't care. He said that. And so that's what I'm going to take him at, is his word. Okay? And if that's how he's going to say and that's how he's going to feel, I am, I'm not going to give all of my energy, and I'm not going to keep making amazing parties and campfires and have everyone, and do all these things. And driving, I am not a traveler. So I
would just like to say,
texting you chicken emojis.
I would just like to say, it's funny that you were making fun of me about whether or not I liked your mom, because at least your mom apparently understood me and understood where I was coming from. You're just like, bye, Felicia. And I'm just like, what?
I am like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's my best quality.
Yeah.
But I did gain that quality. I wasn't born with it. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
If that's what you're going to say, then I'm going to believe I don't know. I don't care what you mean, which is not nice. And I love a good intention, It's just... Anyways, so I went home that night single. Thank you. I'm not dating nobody. Not talking to you anymore. I don't remember how that changed. Probably my mom talking me down, and it probably took her a couple days. And she really almost left me on the side of the road because I was like, you're not hearing me. And she's like, you're not hearing me, which is really me trying to tell you to hear him. And I'm like, I heard the words that came out of his mouth. I'm not going to pretend they mean anything else. Thank you. Anyways, so eventually you came over my house and you were like, what should I tell these people? That you're my girlfriend, or like what? I was like, yeah, I guess. And that was how we became boyfriend and girlfriend. And then we dated. We hung out and watched movies and ate food. That's all we did, and that's all we do now, and still working great for us.
Conversations are overrated.
Yeah. Bok. I just really want to eat, and I just really want to watch TV.
Yeah. Food is good.
TV is good.
Eating food with others is even better.
Thank you. I cannot tell you how amazing it was to get married. And we got married, and then I made you like watch marathons of all my favorite shows, because a lot of my favorite shows are like seasons long, and to have him enjoy them, me watching him watch my shows, it was worth it. It's worth everything. And then you loved them. Oh yeah. And now we get to make inside jokes about my shows and quote lines from my shows. This is the dream.
Yeah.
This is the dream.
Some of them I feel like in a sense almost have become like not exactly a tradition per se, but
we watch them over and over again, and
during I feel like certain times of the year too.
Do we?
I thought so.
Probably.
Or think so, I guess.
You're noticing I'm not. I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah. And then like you said, it's even better with food that we enjoy.
Food, yes, and we go to buffets. Buffets.
Fats.
And then, sushi. We're both big eaters. Like, he can put down a lot of food, but so can I. So
yeah,
we love a good buffet.
We were up to like what, 8 rolls each
I think I only
used
did
to eat
6.
sushi years ago.
Yeah, we would go to the
No,
sushi,
I think it was like 7 to 8. I'm pretty sure.
maybe
I think I even got to 9 once.
of the it's like endless sushi. What is that called? Endless sushi? Buffet sushi, but it's not like buffet. Like you order it, they make it and bring it to you, but you pay one price and you could just keep ordering.
Yeah.
And we would sit there and we would keep ordering and we would get all the things and
Bring me another.
bring me, yes. It was a beautiful time. And soups. Anyways, and we both
Wings. I
love
love
pho.
wings.
Oh, wing pizza. I can't eat pizza, but I used to, and I love to watch you eat pizza. I think that was that something that surprised you when we got married, how much I love to watch you eat food? And I'd be like this close to you and I'd be like, that smells good. Oh, just bite it. Get the pepperoni in that bite. Yeah.
Kind of,
Oh, how does that
'cause-
taste? How does that taste, babe? How does that taste?
Kind of, because although I don't think I'm like a messy eater. Like, there's some foods that it's hard not to be messy with, obviously. But I feel like actually I'm a relatively clean eater. I'm just a very like a voracious eater. I feel like
You are
feel like I
messy
just
and voracious.
no, I don't think so.
Is voracious a word? It's not like ferocious.
I don't know.
Is
It's
it-
a good question, actually. I thought voracious was a word. I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
Okay.
But anyways, so basically, like I will devour.
Yes.
Like it's gone within, because that's another thing too. Is I don't.
Fast.
I don't
I've
waste time.
never seen anyone eat. You were just opening and sticking it straight down your throat into your stomach. There's no way that you're chewing.
Inhaling, yeah. I am
Inhale
chewing,
food.
but the thing
No.
is I probably do not chew as much as one is supposed to.
I don't think
for
you chew
healthy
at
reasons.
all. I do not.
No,
believe it.
I
8
do.
years married.
I do.
I've never seen
I
you
do
chew.
chew.
No,
I do.
I don't see that. I see food on your plate, food gone. And I eat fat. I eat a lot, so I do tend to
No,
eat a
I
little
do
bit.
chew. I do chew. There may be some foods that I'm like less like, I don't really need to chew this, honestly.
Our next
But there
podcast
are-
will be a mukbang. you guys can decide, because I've had lots of comments in real life about my eating habits and how much I eat and how fast and all those things. And I'm like, I'm a lady.
Yeah.
Do not talk about my chowing down. Thank you.
Yeah. The funny thing is I think I eat and drink fast too.
Yeah, you drink fat. I don't understand that either.
Like I'm not like a world champion. What do you call it?
I think it's only because you haven't competed.
A chugger. That's what I was trying to think. Like I'm not a world champion chugger, but I think I could, make some run for my money or whatever. It's
Yeah, let us know what you want to. Oh, have you seen that trend where they say restaurant and you close your eyes and everyone that you open your eyes to, you both go to, they'll be like Sonic. And so if we both like Sonic, we'll both open our eyes and look at each other, and then we go eat at Sonic. We should do that. But really, I only eat at one fast food place. Your eyes would be open the entire time, and I'd just be like, oh, I can't eat there. And then I just open it for Chick-fil-A,
yeah.
and then we'd be eating Chick-fil-A. I haven't had Chick-fil-A in... I like Chinese. I like food.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got married and ate food. No, and then you did propose. Goodish propose. I knew he was going to propose. I also, I had my timelines. In case you can't tell, I was on a mission. I had schedules. I had a team. I was like, I'm not leaving anything to... So I was like, so what are you going to propose? Do you know my ring size? Like all the things. Anyways, and one day I thought he was going to propose this week because I think I had overheard someone, unfortunately, or read in text or email on accident of that particular date.
Hold on, though. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Oh.
You're skipping an important milestone in our relationship. You're going straight to the engagement.
What?
There is another important milestone that you're forgetting.
Are you going to say our first kiss? Please don't say our first kiss.
No.
I don't want to tell them.
That's also actually another one.
Oh, no,
But
no.
even just the I love you part.
We do need to talk about this because
Yeah.
this is one
I
of my
will let
Roman
you-
empires.
Yeah, I will let you tell the story.
So one time we were talking on the phone. That's right. He finally called me. And I feel like he would come hang out, watch movies, and we'd eat and blah, blah, blah. And then he'd have his hour drive home from my house. And so he would call and talk the hour home. And that was fun. I could hear him in my driveway because he would call me from his driveway and he would have me on the speaker in the car, and it was so loud and I could hear him and I'd be like, hello, hello. And
Probably everybody in
Yeah.
life heard it too.
yeah, everyone on the street heard me be like, hello, at 11 o'clock at night in his...
Bok bok.
Do you like chicken? I will never let us live that down. We are not real adults. Anyways, well, how do we make decisions? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're fine. Moving on. So we're talking. He called me. Hey. And I'm like, I don't know what we're talking about. But anyways, we're talking about something. And you're like, there's something I want to say to you. But I think it might be too soon. And I am 100% thinking, I know you to this day, you can't tell me that you weren't about to say that you loved me. And I was like, you are not telling me this on the phone. And you were not telling me this so close to us. So we had like just started dating or something. Like it had only been a couple weeks or months. Like it wasn't that long, which our whole thing is like we met to married year. Okay. You were a stranger, and then I met you at Chipotle. Stranger danger never crossed my mind. No, we met at Chipotle, and then we got married, not at Chipotle, at a museum or something. And that was a year to met, dating, engaged, married. I told you I was on a mission. You better believe it. Anyways, I think a lot of people should want to collab with me more and like be like, oh, you have a thing? We want to do that thing because we know you're going to do it. Okay? Anyways. Nothing like a girl with a goal. That's what I'm saying. So anyways, we met, we dated, and he's about to say he loves me over the phone. And I didn't know if I wanted that. I didn't want it then. I felt like it was too soon. I felt like you didn't know what you were doing.
Wow.
Because you just said that you didn't even want a girlfriend.
I don't think that actually is what I was going to say is the funny thing.
I don't believe you. And I don't think you should believe yourself when you say that. Okay. Anyways, a couple weeks, months, I don't really remember at this point, years ago. I should get my diary out. I didn't think I wrote about it. Anyways, a couple weeks later, I'm up, I think we're at your family's place. So an hour and a half, 2 hours away from my home. Anyways, and I think we were going from like one family member's to another family member's house, something like that. We were outside.
We were
at the car.
We were at one of my friend's house.
We were at your friend's house.
Yeah. Well, their apartment, I guess.
And then you walked me outside. I was ready to leave. You walked. Is that the time that you got me Chinese food? I was coming from work.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
And I met, and they were like
and
having
I,
a
brought
little
it over there or something.
Party, and I was like, I'm gonna have to work the next day, but I'll drive 2 hours, hang out for like 2 hours, and drive 2 hours back.
Wow, 2 hours, and how many occasions of me driving an hour to you?
No, because we're not the
for
same.
your one occasion.
No, we are not the same. Also,
actually, I think there was technically two.
There was more occasions.
It was like far less.
Remember the one time I drove to your parents and you didn't even come? Okay, silence. I win that one. Unspoken rule in our marriage. I win all of the fights. Anyways, so we're hanging out, whatever, and I'm like, okay, I gotta leave because I'm exhausted. I worked all day. I had a part-time job, but for me that was a lot, and it was in a warehouse. And in case you don't know, my poor little body, I'm disabled. That was hard, and the warehouse thing was destroying me. Anyways, concrete floors on your feet all day. Don't get me started. Anyways, but I loved it. So I'm driving back home because I need to get up in the morning and work again. And it was before I drove. You walked me to my car, and you said I love you, and I was like, I don't even remember it, to be honest. I do remember you going, okay, so can we kiss now? And I was like, no, that's not part of the mission statement yet. And I laughed. Because here's the thing. Don't laugh. Seriousness. Is I was like, I think it would be really cool if we kissed when we got married. Like, that was our first kiss. Is like right when we got married. Maybe like a practice one before, because it's gonna be in front of everyone, and you know how I feel about PDA. So I was like, that would for me really cool to be like, I've only kissed one person, and it was my husband. I was married. It felt like a thing that I could do and say, and whatever. And you had agreed to that. You were like, that could be a really cool thing for you to be able to say, because I was not the first girl that you kissed, but whatever. But like for us in our relationship, you could be like, we didn't kiss until we got married. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It just was like a thing. Thought it'd be cool. Thought it'd be fun. And a little side mission in my mission. Anyways, but you were like, yeah, that could be cool and fun. And I was like, cool, let's do that. And you were like, cool, yeah. And then every other week you were like, so can we kiss now? And I was like, what happened to the... You agreed. And you were like, yeah. Anyway.
I said it would be cool.
And I was really nervous for our first kiss. And I would like to say it was well-founded. Also, YouTube was around already, thank goodness. I love YouTube. But when I was like YouTubing how to kiss a boy, I was not getting good enough videos. There was something about cupcakes, and so we kept buying cupcakes. And so my mom, she made a lot of fun of me, okay? And I was like, you're supposed to be on my side, okay? Don't turn into a bully at this point. No, she just was like, it's natural, it's easy, you don't have to worry about it. And I was like, I'm worried, okay? I want to do things right, I want to do things well, everything in life, including my first kiss. Thank you. I can't tell you how many friends, including my mother, who would talk about their first kiss, and they're like, ew, it was icky, and it was this, and I hate it. And I did not want that, because if I have a first kiss and it's bad, I'm not kissing nobody ever again. I'm out. My whole life I wanted to be married. Not anymore. Not like this. I did it once. Didn't turn out well. You know? I'm not going to say I'm a perfectionist, because I don't need to diagnose myself with anything. No. So anyways, we say I love you.
I don't think you're a perfectionist, by the way. I think you're just a do-or-dieist.
Yes. I mean, we're not professionals, so we can't say. But no, so anyways, we say I love you to each other. It was cute. It was in real life, not over the phone. I did like that. And it was just us, because you had just walked me out to my car. Anyways, which we'd spend a lot of time we didn't spend a lot of time with like big groups of people, which I didn't want to do. So we spent a lot of time with my mom. No. And your best friend, and, talking on the phone and driving here and there and blah, 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 blah. I also did not want my first kiss to be in front of a whole bunch of people, except like at my marriage. And it was going to be like a peck at my wedding. And it would be like just like a peck, like a, okay. Like, I feel like I could do that. Right? I don't need, I can practice with my cupcake. Anyways, that's what YouTube said to do. Practice with a cupcake. I didn't get it. And see, that's the thing, is I feel like with my brain, sometimes I just don't get things. I'm not going to say I have brain damage, but that would be a nice excuse. Anyways, so we say I love you. We're moving on because we haven't kissed. He said, can we kiss now? And I said, no, peace. And I drove home. So now we've a couple weeks later.
Something like that. Okay.
And you're at my house. And you are leaving. We probably watched a movie and ate Chinese food. You're leaving, and my mom and brother are like, I would always walk you to your car, and you would always we'd end up standing and talking for another hour. And my parents were like, please leave. It's so late.
Flashing the outside light at us.
Yeah, it's like, leave, go away. Everyone go to sleep.
Doing Morse code saying, yeah, go home.
Anyways, so my mom and brother had come downstairs through the garage to come get me and be like, are you going to bed? Please say you're going to bed. Flash the lights, all the things. And I was just on the other side of the door. And I was like, okay, all right, you go, bye. I'll talk to you on the phone for an hour. And then, I need sleep. Okay? Dating was really rough on me and my little body. Okay? That's why I didn't want to date forever. It's too hard. To this day, I'm like, we were movies and we would stay at, we would go to a house and hang out somewhere with couches and stuff. And I am still it almost killed me. And I needed so much rest after we dated. Anyways, so here we are hanging out. He's leaving. And again, there's no one on this planet that could tell me that he wasn't about to kiss me. He was looking at me with those eyes. He was this close to my face. And that close to my face. Do not spend that much time with us that close to my face. I'd be like, excuse me. Anyways, and he's like, okay, bye. And he gets in his car and leaves. And so I walk back into the garage to my brother and my mom, and I'm like, dude, I think he was about to kiss me. And they were like, we think so too. And I was like, I almost had my first kiss. And I'm like, but whatever. Because I told him, I thought we talked about this thing. And, you know, I'm talking to my mom and brother, and we're all like, and then all of a sudden, I hear him drive off. Like, we're just in the garage.
Wait, hold on. I thought you said that when you went in like that you like fell to the ground or something. And
probably.
And you were like, he almost kissed me. Or
I am very dramatic. So I think I walked in and like fell to the ground. And it was like, he almost kissed me. To my brother and my mom. And they're like, no, anyways. So he drives away. He's on his way home. And I'm talking to my brother and my mom in the garage. And then all of a sudden we hear him come back and knock on the door. And my mom and my brother, I cannot tell you because I don't know how, they just scattered. They were just gone. And I just like opened the door and like I'm like looking behind me like, oh, my family. And then I'm like, oh, it's gone. I don't know where they went.
They never even existed.
They didn't. And so I just like kind of closed the door behind me because I don't know, maybe they were hanging from the ceiling. I don't know. Anyways, and he was like, and I was like,
oh yeah, go ahead.
And I was like, did you forget something? And he was like, I did forget something. And then he went and kissed me. And it was also raining and da-da-da-da. And I could have thrown up my heart. I was like, of nervousness. Okay? Anxious. I was just as anxious. Could you imagine if I didn't practice with that cupcake? Anyways. I'm so much more anxious. So then I go back in.
Wait, it doesn't taste like chocolate.
And then you're like, and then you say goodbye again and you leave and you call me. But before that, I go back in and my mom and my brother appear. I have no idea where they were. And they were just like, ah! And my brother's screaming and falling on the floor because, you know, he grew up with me, so he's dramatic. And I'm screaming and my mom is like, oh my goodness, I told you didn't have to worry. I told you didn't have to worry. And I'm like, I'm still worried. And we're freaking out anyways. And then, you know, we talk for an hour on the way home, and I feel like you were just so proud of yourself. You were just like, that was real. Like, I had the riz.
It was like almost like one of those kissing in the rain scenes.
Yes, it's a very beautiful, dramatic story, which I loved. What did I tell you? I wanted a good first kiss story, and we have it, even though it was a little traumatizing to me.
All that was missing in that moment was that song.
Robbie and I don't have the same taste in music. Very opposite. So different songs will be playing in it. Well, you know what? I'll have my own headphones in. You have your own headphones in. And then that'll be a nice magical kissing moment, first story song day in the rain. Anyways, so that was a cute story. We can always tell that. And then I could tell that to our kids one day. We don't have. And then we got engaged. This is the story that I was telling. Sorry. So I had kind of found out. I had seen it somewhere that day. It was like the 17th of November or something. And so I was kind of expecting it. And then we were supposed to do some stuff during the day and hang out for the whole day. It was the whole day that you had. So I was going to go up there in the morning. My parents were coming. Your parents were going to hang. It was going to be like my parents, your parents, and us. And I'm like, he's going to propose. Yeah. So anyways, I'm getting ready to go. And I go upstairs to my parents, and they're like, they're not dressed, they're not ready. They're like, you know, things are going on. Your grandparents are, you know, we're going to stay here and just, you know, hang out with your grandparents. They need our help. So you just go have a good time. We'll hang out, you know, we've already hung out with them. We'll hang out with them. You know, my mom is like, I've hung out with your boyfriend enough. And I'm like, yeah, I know. She was so done with us. I think everyone was. So anyways, I was like, oh, okay, well then that must not. That I was like pretty sure because I had seen the date and I was like, it's kind of irrefutable. But then I was like, if my parents aren't coming and they're backing out, then that's not what's going to happen. And then I got to your house and your place and your parents were there, and they were like, let's switch plans. Like, we were supposed to do stuff and they were like, let's not. Da, da, da. And we decided just to go to, we have a museum. It's free to walk around. It's big. So we went to the museum, and you know, you're like half asleep half the time we're hanging out because of your work schedule. So you're like falling asleep in the car and whatever, and we go and we walk around, and you're like talking to your dad, and I'm just like, you know, moseying along behind and looking at the art and whatever.
To preface this, I was trying to come off as like, is it aloof?
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, like
That's how you really know when a man's gonna propose, because he'll be the rudest to you that he is. I've heard that from several women. I'm like, he was never in the same even like exhibit room with me. Like, I'm looking at a painting, he's 3 rooms away looking at another painting. I'm like, what kind of date is this? But I'm like, whatever. And then I'm sure I got hungry or something, or we walk outside. I don't know why we were outside.
We were like taking a break basically from looking at the rest of the stuff there.
We were like,
and we were like, let's get some
eat.
let's get some food.
And so we're standing outside. There's like some tables outside, like little baby tables, and we're just sitting there to be like, where are we gonna go to eat? Blah, blah, blah. And then someone had gone to the car and got a box of my favorite, gluten-free, dairy-free. They were on TV, cupcakes. So they're good. They were like on some show, Cupcake Wars or something. And I think they won or they got second place, whatever. So like they're good cupcakes. I love them. He knows he would buy them for me, whatever. So he comes and brings me these cupcakes. I actually liked
them too, which is saying something.
Yes, he's a picky eater. Anyways, so
if it's gluten dairy free, then you can understand why.
Whatever. I thought they were on TV. Anyways, so he brings me the box of cupcakes, and I'm like, oh, cupcakes, yay! This makes up for you not paying attention to me. And I open the box, and there's one cupcake, and the other place that's supposed to have a cupcake has a little ring box instead. And so I am just like, first of all, where's my other cupcake? Second of all,
I still had it, by the way.
He did. he like right after he asked me to marry, he immediately was like, I have the other cupcake, don't worry. And I was like, yes. And he gave it to me and I ate it. So when we got to the car. So anyways, he did buy me 2 cupcakes. That's the important things that you need to know. So there's a little ring box. And so I was like, I wanted you to take the ring box, and you were like, take it out. And I was just like standing there like going like this because I couldn't say anything. And I like wanted you to take the ring box. And I was like, And so you either took it out or I eventually took it out, and I opened it and it had a note in it that said, will you marry me? No ring. I didn't need a ring though. I thought we were going to get rings off of Groupon. That, in case you don't know, I got him like 5 rings off of Groupon. So I'm like, who cares? But I'm like, oh, a cute little note that says, will you marry me? I still have the note, obviously. It's like coming out of the little ring in the ring box, the little ring place holder. And I'm like, oh, will you marry me? Yes, obviously it was part of the plan. Anyways, and so, you got down on one knee, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you got down on one knee and just held the box. I don't think you said it out. Did you say it out loud, or did you just like, well, it's on the piece of paper,
I might have.
I don't remember you saying it out loud. Maybe you did.
But I had the actual ring in my pocket though.
Mm-hmm. And so you did put the ring on me.
Yeah.
Right after I said yes first.
Yeah.
Because later on you were like joking, like, I had to ask you first before I gave you the ring, and I'm like, I got us here.
I was strategic. I said, ask the question first before showing her the ring.
No.
Otherwise, if she sees that ring, no, I'm just kidding.
And I say yes, we might never know what it was for, because I strategically did not make you marry me. Okay, sure, I brought us here with the sweat on my back, okay? Anyways, just kidding. I'm not kidding. Anyways, so he asked me to marry him. I think you might have said it out loud.
I feel like I did. I think so.
And so I was like, yay! And then I put the ring on, and I was like,
no, yeah, because I was asking. I was like, so is that a yes? Because
I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
I couldn't like get words out, and not like I was an anxious girl. Okay, I was on meds for anxiety, and so I was just like, and then I like saw the corner of my eye, my mom. I'm like, we're an hour away from my house, and my mom's just all ready and pretty. She's always like got herself done up, and I'm like, I just left you and you were in your pajamas. So anyways, my mom and my dad are there, and they're walking down, and I'm like, oh, hello. And I feel like I acted more excited to see them.
I can't. Did you cry? I think
I cried when my mom showed up.
Yeah.
I really liked my mom. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. It's more impactful for you. Oh,
my mom! Well, it was the surprise, because I really, really wanted to be surprised, and I had found out that date, and so everyone was trying to like fix that so that you could still do it on that day, but I was still surprised because I was like so sure, and so I knew. Which is like, it's fine. It's just I wanted to be surprised, but I also wanted to be like, wearing a cuter outfit. And I said I wanted to be in heels. Yeah. I really liked my heels, and I wanted to be in heels when I got proposed to. And I was. That's fine. But, so like, it's good to know I'll wear whatever I want to wear that I feel cute in. And I feel cute in my heels. And I feel cute in this dress that I wore. And whatever. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe not today. Well, it's fine. I still feel cute. It's importante. Yeah, but then my mom came and I was like, my mom's here. So basically, the whole moral of the story is that we both love my mom more than
Oh, wow.
No. And then we went to go to one of my favorite restaurants to eat. And then I was like, so I have a ring. We're getting married tomorrow, right? And you were like, I was thinking maybe like a year engagement. And I probably laughed in your face. I'm so sorry. It was not on purpose. I was just like, you're kidding. 3 weeks. I think I said to you literally, I was like, 3 weeks. I can throw a wedding together in 3 weeks. And I had gotten my wedding dress before we got engaged, which was fine. Because whether or not you asked me, someone would. And if not, I had a pretty dress. Anyway, I could bring it back. Me and my mom were up, we live in the middle of nowhere. We live in the country. And so we happened to be in town next to one of those fancy wedding places, which was like an hour away. And we were there for something else. And we were, trying to like kill some time for another appointment or whatever. We were probably there for my mom's work. Anyway, so we decided just to go in, and there was a dress on the sales rack that I liked and that fit me. And then it was, only a couple $100. And so we were like, yeah, let's just get it. So we did. It wasn't a thing. I didn't like bring all my friends or we just like kind of went, and it was there and it was cute and it fit. And I was like, this is good. Let's go get some sushi and go home now. Let's go get more Chipotle. I was really obsessed with Chipotle at the time. Anyways, so I was like 3 weeks. I don't need to wait for a wedding dress to come in. I can, in case you can't tell, I know how to throw together a party. So I was like 3 weeks, and we compromised. Not 3 weeks, not a year, at 3 months. I really felt like I won that too. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And that is our unspoken rules for our marriage is I win. I get what I want. No, I work for what I want. Thank you. I worked really hard for this marriage. I was like, I don't want to wait anymore. I was really tired. Like, especially you knowing me now and knowing and looking back and having hindsight and really understanding me and my health and stuff now. Yeah. You look back and you realize, like, it was really, really, it was a rough time for me and dating and going back and forth and then your schedule and my schedule. So I was like, I'm not going to survive this much longer. Yeah. And putting things together and things like that. And I'm glad that we did do that because we were able to have my mom at our wedding at a decent-ish time right before like she got worse and then she was sick and she passed away. So we were still able to have all of that. And yeah, I don't know if I could have dated any longer. Yeah. Just my body. It was too hard on my body. Yeah. And my emotions at the time, I was on medicine. I was having a really rough time in life with my head and but it was, which we know now was probably something like anxiety and things showing up that were more actually physical things. Yeah. And that's just what we thought was wrong with me. So it was on medicine that I was also not doing well on. Anyways, so.
There's a lot of that stuff that I feel like I really didn't understand as much as I do now, obviously, at that time. And I wish I had, just because I think it would have at least been that much easier and better for you if I had, and might have made a little bit of a difference so that it wasn't so rough on you or at least rougher than it had to be or was. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I wish that things had been a little bit different on that front and me, because like even let alone just in our relationship, I feel like I didn't quite understand that kind of stuff because I hadn't really been around it like that. Yeah. So that was kind of just a new experience for me, period.
It's hard to explain, like, with words, too. Yeah. Like, I would explain to you. And, like, some of the things that I was having issues with, like, now, I wasn't having the same, like, I wasn't having those episodes then, even though I had them. Yeah. And so I tried to explain them to you, but I couldn't show you. Yeah. And I also, what can you say? Right. How do you explain to someone pain and and these weird things that happen to someone's body for them to really understand and take that in? So
yeah. And then just try to combine that with the fact that you're trying to build a relationship. Yeah, it's like both of those things at once were kind of like a lot
for you to process mentally.
Yeah. So I think I didn't really grasp everything. Yeah. And that probably wasn't, looking back, it could have been a little bit more supportive if I had. So
thanks.
Yeah.
It's fine. I had my mom.
Apparently we both had your mom somehow, because like she was in
And
my
then
corner.
my brother,
she was in my corner when it came to like, you know.
She really didn't want me at home
That was
anymore.
just like one. That was like one occasion where she like had my back and I didn't know about it.
There were several.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is like there's literally
Yeah, I
several
was because
occasions.
when you didn't ask for my number the very first time we met, I was like, "Okay, not him." I stopped thinking about you altogether. I said, "You're not the one." So, and she really encouraged me to be like, "Oh, you just met once, and da da da. Like, give him another chance." And I was like, "No." And then one of my friends said the exact same thing to me, and I came home and went, "Mom, I had a revelation." She was so mad at me. She was like, "I've been saying that to you," and I was like, I don't think so. I don't know. My friend said it, and it really made sense. So I'm gonna make a whole party, and I did that.
Yeah.
Here we are.
It's also very sad how much your mom literally understood where I was coming from with things like what you were talking about before.
Yeah.
And how similar we thought, period, about things and tried to talk to you about stuff and explain stuff
like
to
in
you.
life. Like,
Yes.
you know, I want to call and vent about something. I'd call my mom, and I'd tell you, you know, separately. And you guys would say the same thing to me. And I'd be like, man, now I have two of them. I didn't mean to do that. Oops. So that's my caution to you. Well, this was fun, and it was a great story, and I hope you enjoyed. And now I remember why I love you. I needed that today. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Wow. Anyways, thanks for marrying me, and thank me to me, because I worked really hard for this relationship. In the beginning, you're pulling all the weight now, you know, and that's what balance is.
Oh, okay.
I love you, and since you guys were not at our wedding, I can't go back in time and fix that now. And we're not really into PDA, and that was like our one kiss of millisecond. We'll kiss here now, so that you can know that we're a real couple, and you can feel like you're in on one of our dates from 10 years ago. Oh, wait. Now that it's been 8 years of marriage, would you still date me? Would you have asked, if you could go back, would you ask for my number the very first time at Chipotle?
First of all, let me say I love you too, because I didn't get to say it back.
Thanks.
Second of all, the answer is yes.
Yay.
I know you a lot better now.
And you love me better.
And
more.
I
know you better, so I guess.
I love you more better. I love you more better.
All right, let's kiss for the people. Are you ready? Someone put some rain effects.